give the impression that somehow Jamaicans, 100,000 Jamaicans came out and voted. These are not. There's a distinction. I want to make that distinction that that's how it is. Yes. So hold on.
And double the number of constituencies we represent in Parliament, increasing our members of Parliament to 28. It is therefore clear that many Jamaicans are seeking a different style of leadership.
No, sir. That is not that don't follow that Jamaicans are seeking a different style of leadership. What is the style of leadership that Jamaicans are seeking? The style you are offering, sir? And what is your style of leadership? Can we discuss that? What is your style? What is the style of leadership that Jamaicans? This was such an uninspiring presentation. It was so uninspiring. You have the opportunity to to talk to Jamaica, and you go there telling Jamaicans about you have more seat in a parliament. You have greater responsibility. And Jamaican want new style of leadership. Jamaicans don't want the style of leadership that that Mr. Golden is offering. I don't think so. As a matter of fact, we have yet to know what is your style. Awesome. So this is not inspiring at all from Mr. Golden. So Mr. Golden, you have to wheel and come again, man. Present to Jamaica a progressive alternative. Come talk about you have greater responsibilities in Parliament. Your seats have been all of that. Oh. All right. Okay. Let's see if we can come back to that. Here is a caller to Nationwide this morning, today. Listen.
That, and the reason I said it, because I could have cut him off at the top and said it. He said he wants to know which state agencies are going to be spending, the monies are going to be spent through. So you have to stop there because he said, no, but it's a private institution. So yeah, mix it up with state aid. Right. So it's as if some people want us to not point out that the PNP is a private organization. It is. And you could have fulminate till you're blue. That doesn't change the fact. And at the same time, and I don't know where the people who are trying to make it seem as if it is not private, where would it come from? Because if you could never be a nationwide listener and reacting that way to a point of fact, even though the unassailable point is that those who want the things to be open for there to be an examination of how much funds were collected and how the funds will be spent. We're all agreed on that, and that is the big point. So what is wrong with pointing out the fact that it is a private institution? Like, you know, if you say it is not private. Jesus.
It's a simple matter of critical thinking.
Carl, good morning.
Morning 4%.
Here's a caller to Nationwide.
Yeah, man. Just get me dark for the first day of the new year. What is wrong with people, man? Yeah.
Anyhow, the gentleman raised one of the issues that I was planning to raise this morning concerning the finance where the opposition get. Mr. Bolin must remember that he is the head of the opposition.
That's right.
And whatever him asks for integrity and accountability and all of those, you can't go and ask for donation on behalf of Jamaica and nobody must know how much you collect.
That's right.
That is wrong, Golden.
You know, I tell you the truth. The People's National Party have found themselves in a quandary. you hear the caller? In a quandary. The opposition have accused the government of not signing the code of conduct. This is a flip-flop opposition, you know. They are without substance. They flip, they flop. They flip, they flop. They're all over the place. You know, this is true. You know, organizations do well from a physiosophical standpoint. You know, they create what is called your philosophy. I wonder if there is any comrade online that could come up here and tell me what is the philosophy of the PNP. Perry, Comrade Perry, said that he's a socialist. He believes in socialism. Is socialism the philosophy of the PNP? Are they ideological in terms of that? The organizations do well when they create a philosophy, and out of that philosophy you come up with what is called now your vision, the vision statement, and others add your mission, what you're about. And I don't know if the PNP realize that we don't know what they're about, because they just a flip and a flop. Now, look at this matter of the political code of conduct, which is rubbish, you know, quite frankly. Based on what I see happening in Jamaica, the government don't need to sign that. Sign nothing. Because when you hear what is happening at there's an institution in Jamaica paid for by taxpayers that was trying to influence the outcome of the elections. You know that story. I'm not going to let it go, you know. I'm not going to let it go at all. How could that drop in Jamaica and media don't pick it up? We soon get to the media. Yes, soon get to the media, because this same column said something about it. By the way, Garthman.
Yeah, neighbor. I have two questions.
Are you coming here to define?
No. I know Garfman philosophy. That's what I know. I know mine.
You help me to define.
No. I will not go into that. I know about my philosophy, sir.
Okay.
I know about my philosophy.
I still have the invitation open. Go ahead.
Fine, that's fine. George Davis, Nationwide.
Yes.
Apparently, I didn't hear the clip full. I didn't hear his program. I haven't listened to him in a while, or the station. And but I believe he was alluding that the PNP is a private organization. Am I correct?
Yes.
Okay, all right, good. And you and then the opposition now is a government agency, correct?
Yes.
Okay,
part of
good.
the government.
All right, part of the government, right? And I'm asking you because I genuinely don't know this, whether or not you believe this, yes or no. What body was it? The PNP asked for donation to build back Jamaica or to help Jamaican or the opposition of Jamaica?
The PNP asked for it, sir.
Oh, the PNP asked for it, right?
Uh-huh.
So the next question I ask you again is the PNP and the opposition two different entities?
It's semantics.
It's
semantics. Yeah.
So neighbor.
Uh-huh.
So was it the PNP asking to sign a code of conduct or the opposition?
The opposition.
Okay then, neighbor. So neighbor. So how, whenever you speak, I mean neighbor, but I beg of you,
Yes, sir.
when you speak, you need to let the listeners and your viewers that the Jamaica Labour Party is at Belmont Road and the office of the Prime Minister is at Hope Road.
Yes.
And the office of the Prime Minister is at Hope Road.
Oh, I see. Uh-huh.
Yes, okay, right.
Oh.
And the People's National Party is on Old Hope Road, and the office of the opposition, I think, Lady Musgrave, am I correct? Probably.
I don't know where they
I think that's where they are. I stand corrected.
That's where the museum is? The museum?
No, well, I don't know about any museum.
But I understand that it's a museum up there now. It has become a museum.
I mean,
what are the relics? What are the relics that you have on display?
Well, the relics that I have on display is that when people speak, people oftentimes don't want to separate the entities. Yes. And I believe it's extremely important to separate the entities and cast the blame where the blames are. No, if the
you do that conveniently, though, you know, sir.
No, you see, we do everything conveniently, and that is what we constantly do. We constantly do that because we all do it with a political bias. Yeah? We all have a political bias, and as I said to you over and over again, if the Jamaica Labour Party was in opposition, the same God Almighty thing that the opposition is doing now, that is formed out of the PNP, the Jamaica Labour Party parliamentarian opposition would have done the same.
No, I can't say that. I can't say
it has happened before. History. There's history. It has done before. History is there.
Play politics, but I can't say the same. You understand?
Well, I say people won't agree because if I were to go on a PNP platform and make that statement what I just made, no, they will all agree with me.
Well,
but because I'm on a Jamaica Labour Party platform, they won't agree.
You are on Hello Neighbor.
Your platform is supported mostly by people of the Jamaica, and I support it too, because I support your platform.
Yeah, you go. You do. As a matter of fact, you've been here from day one. Hold on, sir. Coming back to that before we get back to Garfman. Listen.
People who are trying to make it seem as if it is not private. Where would it come from? Because you could never be a nationwide listener and reacting that way to a point of fact, even though the unassailable point is that those who want the things to be open for there to be an examination of how much funds were collected and how the funds will be spent, we're all agreed on that, and that is the big point. So what is wrong with pointing out?
All right, so Garfman?
Yes, sir.
The argument is not whether or not the PNP is private or not. The argument is the PNP must disclose to the Jamaican people how much money they have collected on the Jamaican people's behalf. They're not collecting for the PNP, you know, sir. They are collecting it on behalf of the people of Jamaica. Don't you think that the PNP needs to disclose how much money they have collected?
Well, the PNP is a private organization, isn't it?
But they are soliciting donations on behalf of the people of Jamaica by virtue of the hurricane.
It doesn't make a difference. You're a private organization. You can solicit money on behalf of the people of Jamaica. It would make good moral sense for sure, integrity and transparency. Yes, they should.
So is the PNP not interested in integrity, accountability?
No. But the point is this, neighbor. The point is this. What I would say to someone like yourself and others, the People's National Party as an office and all pro, right? And if they are the one who collecting the money, why is it then the journalism of Jamaica, the walls of the journalists, the four quarters, why is it that they know every PNP spokesperson in the neighbor? They know every single one. Why is it that these questions are not put towards these people?
I want your position on this.
My position, neighbor. I know what is in my back pocket.
Oh, you're not concerned that the PNP ought to be accountable and be transparent.
Neighbor, again, I am not a part of the People's National Party.
Yes.
Financial the books. I am not even. I don't even have, and I'm going to say this, and everything going to go.
But doesn't their call for transparency rings hollow when in their own organization, people are asking how much money you collect, and they are refusing to say?
Neighbor, again, my neighbor, is this. The People's National Party has their own thing to deal with. And if they want to just open their books to the public, that's their thing. That is not for me to ask. I don't need to inquire about that. What I would say, people like yourself who are asking for it, I have heard you over and over again. I have heard you asking for someone to come front to tell us how much money the PNP has collected on behalf of Jamaica and the Jamaicans for the recovery process. No, that is your job. Because you're a journalist, and that is nationwide job. And that is all the journalists, that's their job.
I'm not a journalist.
You're not. But what I will tell you then, you know what you can do, neighbor? Because since it is saying the narrative that the People's National Party is collecting money and nobody knows.
No, it is not being said. No, hold on, Garkman. Come on. It is not that it is being said. They are doing it.
Okay, fine. They are doing it. What I would suggest, neighbor, is to go to the DP.
Why are they collecting this money?
Why are you asking me, neighbor?
Yes,
I know why I work and earn $1.
Well, we can't have a political party in Jamaica out there collect money on behalf of people, so we don't know how much money them are collecting.
And that is why I said, neighbor, that is why I have the DPP's office. You are a citizen of Jamaica. No, neighbor. If you are collecting money and you are not forthcoming with the money and you believe or someone else believe that there are some hanky-pankies going on with it, report it to the authorities.
I don't know about hanky-panky. All I'm saying is that the People's National Party, the opposition signed a code of conduct saying that they want to be transparent, they want to be accountable. This is a good way to show that the party is accountable and that it is transparent. I think so. You don't think?
Funny enough, the parliament did not convene today, but probably next week. I will hope someone from the government side bring a private motion to the parliament for transparency in reference to the People's National Party collecting money. Why they don't do that at the highest court of the land?
Well, so are we going to hear from the PNP that how much money they have collected?
You're asking me?
How are the people of Jamaica going to take?
Never. You want me to tell you how much I have in my pocket right now? $40. That's what I have in my pocket.
I don't have none. I don't have none. By the way,
Yeah, man.
the Prime Minister said that the PNP collected $1 million US dollars from Olint. True?
The Prime Minister of Jamaica, the Right Honorable Andrew Olness, said the People's National Party collected $1 million from Olint. I'm assuming you are speaking about the defunct Ponzi scheme that went on, correct?
Yes, and Mr. Golding never denied it.
So at that time, did the Jamaica Labour Party collected any money from Olint?
I don't know, sir. I'm saying to you.
You don't know.
The Prime Minister put it to him that he collected $1 million US dollars from
to Mr. Golding.
Yeah, want me to play it for you?
No, well, you could do so, but it won't benefit me. Probably benefit you.
Well, no, but I'm telling you. And
so you are saying to me, the Prime Minister Andrew Olness accused Mark Golding of
he told him. Collect
the PMP now. So it was. So he told him that the PMP collected $1 million from Olin, and there is no way, shape, or form that the JLP got any money from any of these Ponzi schemers.
Well,
I guess you don't know that, right?
I don't know, sir.
I know you wouldn't know, but you know. Well, neighbor, what I can tell you, neighbor.
I'm just reporting what I said. So listen. The fact is, sir, that this goes to the heart of the whole matter of accountability. You can't be accusing and calling for transparency and accountability.
Neighbor, I don't believe.
You live in a glass house.
Don't throw stones. And I believe it goes for the both sides of the aisle.
Well,
I believe that you live in a glass house, don't throw stones. I believe it goes to the both sides of the aisle.
But by the way, Harry, you're there. How you doing? Hi, Harry.
I'm here again, and everybody. I'm here. Interesting stuff that Garfman.
Yeah, your microphone needs to be cleared up a little bit.
Let me double check it here.
All right, stay where you are, Harry. I'm coming back to you. All right, let's go back to that.
The fact that it is a private institution, like no one will say it is not private. Jesus.
It's a simple matter of critical thinking.
Carl, good morning.
Morning, 4%.
Yeah, man. Just get me dark for the first day of the new year. What is wrong with people, man? Yeah.
Anyway, the gentleman raised one of the issues that I was planning to raise this morning concerning the finance where the opposition get. Mr. Golding, must remember that he is the head of the opposition.
That's right.
And whatever him asks for integrity and accountability and all of those, you can't go and ask for donation on behalf of Jamaica, and nobody must know how much you collect.
That's right.
That's right. You can't go ask for donations. You're asking for donations on behalf of Jamaicans and nobody, and you ask for accountability, transparency, Golding.
That is wrong, Golding.
That is wrong, Golding. Nobody should listen to Mr. Golding. Mr. Golding is a flip-flopping man, Mr. Golding. The Prime Minister said he don't know what Mr. Golding is drinking. when the rum tell you you're a big dancer. I wonder if Mr. Golding is under a little whites there. Oh boy, I
know the funds will be spent. We're all agreed.
I'm coming right back. Mr. Golding. Mr. Golding say in Mota 2 BC. It's a bit of a bad word because I know. Mr. Golding say in Mota 2 BC and I ain't short there. So when they rum When the rum tell you you're a big dancer. Oh boy. Anyway.
The issue was that I was planning to raise this morning concerning the finance where the opposition get. Mr. Golin must remember that he is the head of the opposition.
That's right.
And whatever him asks for integrity and accountability and all of those, you can't go and ask for donation on behalf of Jamaica and nobody must know how much you collect.
That's right.
That is wrong, Golden. Anyhow, my biggest concern
I like how they call us a golden. That is wrong, golden. That is wrong, golden. Wrong. Tapanaris golden. Wrong. Anyway, go ahead.
The opposition. I would like to see an opposition leader which doesn't go on a platform and lie on somebody. I want somebody when he speaks on behalf of the opposition, I can believe him. And Golden went on a platform and the debate between him and Andrew Holness and lie publicly to the world about two things. 28 bank book and Andrew Holness is under investigation. That was a lie. And up to today, I heard nobody from the opposition try to point it out to Golden that him lie on a platform. And me and you, George, I come for a long time. Big man now. No, say anybody who a lead like that couldn't go on a national platform and lie about something and still remain where he is today.
You know.
All right. So the caller is saying that the opposition leader credibility is under question. As a matter of fact, he went further to suggest that Golden ought to have tendered his resignation. And here is what the caller to Nationwide was referring to. Here is it.
Bank accounts that you received several $1 million in cash deposit.
Forensic auditor. The findings of that report have suggested no corruption. There have been no charges. Every aspect of my report, every aspect of my personal life and my personal financial details are in the public domain. I am the politician about which Jamaica knows the most. And therefore, I am the politician who can stand with the greatest moral.
And you know, that is so true. That is so true. I don't know what they're investigating about this man. So, you know, my God. Anyway.
All authority to treat with any matter that is considered corrupt, as I have done in the past. And I want to give this assurance to the Jamaican people that you know me, you know about me, you can trust me, and you know that I stand against corruption.
Mr. Golding has the opportunity to respond to that social media question as well.
Andrew, what they know about you is that you have 28 bank accounts, that you received several $1 million in cash deposits from anonymous donors in your bank account.
That's what the caller to Nationwide was referring to when he said that, listen to him again, listen to the caller.
Doesn't go on a platform and lie on somebody. I want somebody when he speaks on behalf of the opposition, I can believe him. And Golden went on a platform and the debate between him and Andrew Holness and lie publicly to the world about two things. 28 bank book and Andrew Holness is under investigation. That was a lie. And up to today, I heard no. But
why did the opposition leader do that? Why did Mark Golding lie? And the caller is correct to be pointing it out, that this talk about accountability and transparency, it goes to the heart of this, you know. Huh?
From the opposition try to point it out to Golding that him lie on a platform, and me and you, George, I come for a long time. Big man now. No say anybody who a lead like that couldn't go on a national platform and lie about something and still remain where he is today.
You know what was troubling for me, Carl. I can understand the political imperative of talking about 28 bank accounts before a certain point. I said, all right, fine, it's fair game. But after it was established that there were not 28 bank accounts, I thought the argument was settled. So I was very disappointed during the debate to hear it mentioned as a fact. Yeah, that for me was the part I'm saying, no. This is unacceptable. Yeah, if I cannot accept my opposition leader repeating what was a blatant lie. Yeah.
A lie. And anyhow, Mark George, last night I watched, I tell him.
All right, so before we go to that, the leader of the opposition lied. He lied. Yes. And you know, this speaks to the country we're living in, you know. Miss Marlene Malahoo Fort in Sam Sharp Square said Golding cannot be trusted. Mr. Holness on the debate stage said Mark Golding is a liar. Mark Golding is a liar and can't be trusted. And here is it again. Mr. Golding lied. Yet he continued to lead the opposition. And he's out there talking about transparency and accountability. Golding. The caller calls him Golding. Golding, look into yourself, yeah? Because if you are to be taken seriously, right, you have to do better than. Anyway, I have something else. Harry? Yeah, Harry, these matters, Harry, are not just to be brushed under the carpet. I think the caller has raised a very good point there that, you know, you expect the opposition leader to act with greater, to be more responsible.
Neighbor, I've been speaking on that aspect specifically for Mr. Golding, not even for the opposition party itself, but for the leader. And I think you can recall me saying he has gotten a lot of layups to come clear, to win back, if I want to say so, to win back some hearts of Jamaicans, right? To show that he's a little different. And what took place on the biggest stage of elections that they can move away from, and he has failed to do so. I still don't understand, one, what he's trying to accomplish, two, what his leadership style is, and three, what are his characteristics, his best characteristics if he's to ever lead this country. Like, what is the real purpose for all of this? And he has not reached a standard at this moment to even be considered as an alternative leader, right? Because he's failing miserably each time. Like, he hasn't given himself any breathing space to say, all right, maybe he got this one right. Maybe he's on a good footing. He's just spiraling downhill, and he's not doing himself any justice each time he comes out and make a public statement. it just get worse and worse. And my thing with it is, and I wanted to ask Garthman regarding it, is what is Mr. Golding trying to achieve with his, I don't know if I can call it a style, but with his utterances? What is he trying to achieve? What is the end goal that will benefit Jamaica? And if the well-thinking
you're gone, Harry. You're gone. Are you back, sir?
Me, neighbor? I'm here, neighbor.
Yes, go ahead.
All right. I was saying, even for the ones who are intellectually disingenuous, whatever they're trying to do regarding Mr. Holness, how does that benefit Jamaica? Can they be forthright and forthcoming for us to be the judge of their end result or the goal? Because I can tell you, neighbor, if they're brave enough to do so and put it publicly, they know we'll see right through the gimmicks, the party biases that they're trying to achieve. That doesn't benefit Jamaica.
Can you help me though, sir? What does the PNP represent to you now? Do you have an understanding and appreciation of what is the philosophy of this party? What are they about?
Neighbor, it's confusion currently. I thought they would have had a solid ground after 2020. I mean, considering what happened, I know they were pulled in several different directions. But even coming up somewhat as a unified group, I'd want to say that seems like a facade. No, here's why. Mr. Golding seems like an image that they fall under while still being severely separated, right? Because we've seen time and time again where persons are just doing their own thing, including the party leader. You don't get a sense of a centralized system going forward. You don't see a unison in one idea.
Let's clear the box. Let's clear the box and come back, Harry. Let's clear the box. Okay, hold on. Clear now? Box clear?
Please.
Okay, great. Okay. All right. So yes, Harry. But by the way, Harry, let's shift back to the whole matter of the donations that the PNP is offering on behalf of the Jamaican people. The distinction between the opposition and the party, Harry, does that come into play here?
I've said it, I believe not yesterday, the night before, that the opposition, in terms of PNP as a party and as the opposition, they've done a great job in being one. They are in unison. They don't speak separately. So regardless of what Mr. Garthman wanted to come and say, they are separate entities. They've never operated separately. The Jamaica Labour Party, on the other hand, you see a clear distinguish.
That's a very good point. So even when the PNP is in government, they don't differentiate the party. They are predominantly a party in government.
That is it. So if they want to come now and take a spin and change it to say the party is private, but the opposition who are representatives from the party is not, well, then I would say, is it okay for any random private institution, a group, if we want to call it that way, to utilize the distressed and the situation, the disastrous situation that happened to Jamaicans? Is it okay for them to collect that money. So we're moving it away from the PNP. Now, just use it as an example. Would we agree and accept, especially if it's an overseas institutional group that does that on the backs of Jamaica? Would we accept it? And the answer is a no. So why should we accept it? No. In fact, we would have demonized it and asked them to return the money if it's not benefiting Jamaicans. And from what I'm seeing, no, I don't even, Mr. Maybe Hugh Blair or Garfman or anybody else can answer this or help us. Are they still collecting monies? Because we're not sure. We already don't know how much they collected. We don't know what the money is being used for, if it's even going to be used. Because clearly the plan that was said to be put forward is still in a draft stage and we can't even know what the draft is. So what is that money that has been collected? What has it been doing? Sitting down, gaining interest somewhere? Because again, that is money for Jamaicans. So they can't come and say it is the party's money. Because what that would simply means, right, is that you are technically doing something that is illegal. But that's an argument and a conversation they're not ready for.
The funds would not have been collected had it not been for the disaster.
Exactly. And that was part of the conversation that we had.
Given money to the PNP without the disaster. People don't give parties have difficulty raising funds in opposition in us. So when after an election.
Yeah. And the thing with it, it's the thing with it, neighbor, as well, is that when they do this, the opposition, and again, the administration, which is the government, and the opposition, they aren't measured the same way, right? But they have to understand that while the administration will be dealt with on a harsher scale, an alternative government does not get loose either. Because in order for good governance, and good governance requires both to be at their best. Now, it can't be that we're asking the government to declare and to do what is right, but the alternative government to not do so.
Yeah, so two things are here. It is the plight of the people, why this money is being collected, correct? The plight
That's correct.
of the people. Huh?
That's correct.
So if there was no hurricane, there would have been no money collected.
That's correct.
But money is being collected on behalf of the people of Jamaica.
That is correct. In fact, neighbor, I'll go as far to say
people are neither PNP or JLP. It was people affected by the hurricane. Yes?
That's correct, neighbor. Right? Because I'll go as far as to say,
yes,
they would have done so using brand Jamaica. And the last I check, Jamaica needs to defend its brand, because this simply means you are now doing something that doesn't benefit the brand, because we don't get anything from it. How does Jamaica benefit? The opposition cannot say, because if they have the money as a private institution, then that doesn't go anywhere in Jamaica. I would have understood if they said we're using the funds to offset, whether building homes or whatever it may be, relief aid and so on. But none of that money has been known to be used. Yet still, after collecting all of this money, they're still asking Minister of Finance a few weeks ago for more money. Specifically, and I can quote Mr. Dayton Campbell, who refused to accept the fact that there was private institutions doing sheltering, there was NHT offering sheltering, there were non-government organizations with sheltering, the government is also doing, and also hotels as well, which is separate from all of those. He stated in Parliament that he knew all of that, but he still would want the Minister of Finance to offset more money into budgeting for them. But what happens to the People's National Party's money?
It's unacceptable, Harry, that the party is out there collecting money, and to date, they can't come out and say how much money they have collected and what they have used it for. That's not right, man. And then you talk about accountability and transparency. Doesn't that rings hollow, man?
Neighbor, it is distasteful. I want to wonder if that 100 and something thousand that Mr. Golding speak of in terms of persons he would have gotten voting for him, if the civic society and the wider media are part of that, because they've been silent on this matter. In fact, they've been more silent on this matter more than they have on crime. And that says something to me.
Not a peep out of them, eh?
Nothing, neighbor. And this is concerning. Because how can this is resource, right? The government is strapped for money. Let's say that, under pressure and so on, right? And you collect this money. Aren't you supposed to, for the people, aren't you supposed to be alleviating the stress and burden of these people because you collected this money for them? And when we had the conversation with Mr. Perry, I specifically used a certain word, and I will not retract it until they come clean. They collected the money on the backs of Jamaicans. And it's going to be that way for me until they can provide us with the transparency. They also need to give us the clarity on that 30 million that is alleged to be missing. And then I'd want them to also come and state to us, laying out this money, how it will be used, because the same way they ask for the finance minister to say how the money should be laid out, and how they ask of the prime minister regarding Naira, how it will be laid out and money is to be used, it is the same thing, because they are a part of governance.
Yes. So
we're not moving the goalpost for anybody. Right? So if people want to come and say, oh, but the government get judged different, no. They're all a part of governance. And for this to work, for our democracy to also be intact, to have that accountability, transparency, and the people of this country getting the clarity they need to act on, right? So we can remove misinformation that may even affect the opposition. Because let's want to be very fair with them. Right? Because they can come and say, oh, that 30 million that is alleged to be missing is misinformation. Then give us the clarity. Show the books. It's as simple as that.
Yes.
But you can't be demonizing and fighting and putting all of these statements out against the administration while you yourself is not doing same.
Yes. Harry, the caller also mentions that neither of the newscast, neither CVM or TVJ, mentioned anything yesterday about the fact that for the first time in over 30 years, Jamaica fell under 700 murders. Why was that not in the news on TVJ?
Well, it has not been, and funny enough, I normally saw them doing the recap of the year. I haven't seen it this year, so I don't want to accuse them of something. But that crime situation should be number one. And if it's not, then it's going to be a problem. Because I don't see a bigger achievement than that. Right? But it is not something, neighbor, that sells media to how they want it. It doesn't match the narrative that they have. In fact, we've seen in terms of these journalists now, they aren't practicing real journalism, and as such, could it be that the quality has fallen off, one, or two, the strategical positioning of people that have a specific alignment is ensuring that proper journalism is not done. Because it's one of two.
How could the two national TV stations in Jamaica broadcast their news on the first day of the year and don't report that murders fell below 700 for the first time in 30 years? That's something is wrong with the editorial department in these places, Harry. If you were an editor at any one of these places, wouldn't you put that in your news?
Neighbor, if I'm aligned to a political party or signed to a specific narrative, I would not. And that is the truth, because that is exactly what is happening. So if we look at it, for example.
Hold on there, Harry. If you were aligned to a political party, you are saying that it is not in the interest of the PNP to highlight that Jamaican lives have been spared?
It is not, neighbor. And I can draw for a senior journalist, and we all know who the senior journalist that I'll pull for, because she has failed. As a senior journalist and a lawyer, neighbor, something that you've never seen in 30 years should be the talk of the town. And this individual, Mr. Jackson Miller, got the opportunity to speak and ask questions. Mrs. Jackson Miller, right?
Okay.
Had the opportunity to ask great questions regarding crime. And crime was never asked about for the first time in my lifetime at a national debate. So, and she is a senior journalist at one of the biggest companies in Jamaica. So with your alignment in that way, it simply means you have the power to rubbish papers before they even make it anywhere. If they even make it anywhere, you have the power to stop it before it reaches. And we've not seen anything to disprove this. Because why are the pieces coming out sensational, acting in terms of a sensationalism way and not bringing facts? It's bringing more of what that editor or journalist feels. That's not your job. Your job is to find the truth and present the facts so people can think for themselves. Not you coming and saying how you feel about a situation. It doesn't matter how you feel. But that's what we're getting, because how you're aligned affects how you feel. And this is why we're seeing stations being, a specific station being branded as a JLP station, right? Because I guess that's what good journalism looks like. No, when you go and unearth the hard, cold truth and put it out, so people can.
For the first time in
listen to the Prime Minister.
31 years, the country can collectively celebrate, because this is an achievement for everyone. The reduction of murders from the highs of almost 49 per 100,000.
Hold on there, Harry.
Yes, neighbor.
For every 100,000 persons living in Jamaica at one time, 49 would have been killed, Harry.
Mm-hmm.
That is amazing, Harry.
Those people.
Neighbor,
hello?
It's...
Kenrick, hold on. Kenrick?
Hello?
Good evening to you, sir. Hello?
Yeah. Good evening.
Good evening to you.
Yeah.
Go on through, Kerry. Start, man.
Yeah. There's so much people dead for the year.
All right. Let's get back to Harry.
That's on YouTube. That's on YouTube and TikTok. They bad mind us. They bad mind the Jamaica Labour Party for its performance. They bad mind the Jamaica Labour Party for our achievements. And they are bad minding us for doing the things that you have always wanted a government to do. And when they had power for all this time, they have to do and TikTok. They bad mind us. They bad mind the Jamaica Labour Party for its performance. They bad mind the Jamaica Labour Party for our achievements.
Harry, is it bad mind? The Prime Minister is saying that it's bad mind. The bad mind the Labour Party for its achievements because you know, is it bad mind?
Well, neighbor, I mean, I guess it could be considered that because if you are going after this in this manner because you have failed to achieve it, then sure.
But let's listen to the Prime Minister a little bit more in terms talking about this crime situation. Go ahead.
The reduction of murders from the highs of almost 49 per 100,000, sometimes as high as over 1,500 murders per year. So now this year, having by my last check, 673 murders, under 700 murders. The third year of reduction in murders. We have cracked the psychological barrier of 1,000 murders per year. And we are firmly heading to attain the regional average, if not better the regional average of 15 murders per 100,000. The objective of the government is for the country to attain peace. So it is not just a matter of attaining security, meaning citizen security, public order, but to attain peace, which means that violence is not a first resort for the resolution of conflict. And we will be putting in place policies to ensure that Jamaica does attain peace as a country.
Here you go, okay? All right, So Harry, the caller is suggesting that the crime situation ought to have been part of the news for the first day, and I have to agree, Harry, that this is not good media houses at all.
Neighbor, remember, why is it a situation where, remember, we have never achieved this for the last 3 decades. So it's monumental. But we're going to downplay it or not even give it any airtime. Just to downplay it. So it simply means that there has to be, and this is me calling on the biggest media houses, no, little me, to come and clarify why this is not pertinent news. Why aren't we letting the people of this country know? Why aren't we celebrating something so significant? When on the flip side, we made very detailed graphic representation of articles put out when Jamaica hit 1,600 and 1,700. So why can't the reverse be true? Why can't the same action, if not more, to be done to place this and place emphasis on it? Neighbor, this is the first time I can say we aren't the murder capital of the world. And from what I know, we've been for small Jamaica. The first thing when you mention Jamaica, they always mention crime. And for the first time in my lifetime, that's not how a conversation is start again. Because once it's a crime on Jamaica, murder capital of the world. That's how the conversation has always been. And now that is not so. So why aren't we embracing it? Why aren't we putting it to the rest of the world to say, we've done it, and we're looking to maintain and lower it? Why is all the effort being put in to keep it covered? Because effort has to be going in to keep it covered. Because something like this doesn't stay hush-hush or get little to no airtime if you don't have a ceiling or something covering it so it doesn't come to the forefront. So I'm asking the media houses and real journalists to do their jobs, to educate the people, to raise awareness of this, to for once be proud of Jamaica and something that it has done as a collective unit. Because we may praise the government and the JSA for exceptional work, but us citizens also played a part. Are we no longer patriotic? Are we no longer able to embrace a collective effort by its people? They have to do better.
Okay, hold on, Harry, please.
For doing the things that you have always wanted a government to do, and when they had power for all this time, they never do it. And as soon as we start to do it, they try to turn the good into bad. They are a bad mindset of people. So we have been doing. They are a bad mindset of people. They are a bad mindset of people. Into bad. They are a bad mindset of people. So we have been doing what the people want us to do. We have been fulfilling the social consciousness and social conscience of the people of Jamaica, who say everybody should have a good house to live in. Remember, I know them did bad mind about my house. Remember, I know them did bad mind about my house. Remember, I know them did bad mind about my house. And when you give me the chance to say, you know what, I'm going to make sure that every Jamaican have a good house to live in. Jamaican have a good house to live in. Say, you know what, I'm going to make sure that every Jamaican have a good house to live in. Say, you know what, I'm going to make sure that every Jamaican have a good house to live in. And we have administered the affairs of the nation such that we can deliver that promise. And as I stand here today, I tell all of you who are gathered and everybody who is listening, put that on YouTube and TikTok, that under my administration, every Jamaican will have decent shelter to live in. And TikTok. Put that on YouTube and TikTok. That under my administration, every Jamaican will have decent shelter to live in. That is not a promise. That is a commitment. Some of you here will say, here goes the politician. Oh, that's going on. Hear what I tell you. It is not impossible for every Jamaican household to have decent shelter. It is not impossible for every road in Jamaica. We all need a friend we can ride to.
Bad Sean Simit, you finally get on, huh? Upon us. The positives have to be taken into the new year and embrace, because this is a breakthrough for Jamaica, correct?
It is, neighbor, and even saying a breakthrough is us being subtle and very humble, neighbor, because it's a great achievement. It's been a hard fought one for years, and I think now we've set the foundation to at least maintain where we are, and even maintaining. I think I want Jamaicans to understand this, that if for 2026 we hit another 673, it may not seem as impressive as a 43 reduction, but that would simply mean we've now gotten 2 years under 700. So it shows that the systems that are in place works.
Yes.
And as such, not because it works mean we can't tweak it for it to be better, but it simply means we've now tightened our grasp a little on the monstrosities of crime. The number one act that has been preventing us from making investments, from raising families in less fear, from having the business community themselves have the confidence. And also, I'm not leaving out my diaspora people at all. It has been the driving force that has stopped returning residents from coming home who desperately wants to come home, neighbor. Not for the monetary part, because the skills, ideologies, and experiences that they've earned overseas can be imparted in our culture, in our economy. Betterment of it. Back to the economy for us to move forward, and that is how critical it is. So we'll still have to praise it, and I want all Jamaicans far and wide to understand that.
We don't have to yes. I'm not asking for miracles, but I'll see. And I don't need another heart to play. All I want is a friend I can talk to. So well, that's gonna have to do it for us tonight. So Harry, tomorrow is Saturday. We're on? Yeah, I think so.
What time tomorrow?
Well, I'll text you. We probably will have to do we normally come on a Saturday? I think so.
No, we don't. We've done so twice in December, but it's not annoying.
So then Monday. It's Sunday at 4.
Sunday at 4, yeah.
Sunday at 4 o'clock, okay?
Yeah.
All right, listeners. We normally go until late, but you see, we have to. I have to take instructions in my headphone. Just hold on there for me, Harry. Well, I'm going to have to produce for 2 hours rather than 3. By the way, good night, Scratchy. Where are you? In Canada, in the world? Great. Okay, all right. Harry, listen to Mark Bolin as he addressed the nation for the new year. Listen to him.
Here, the Jamaican people entrusted the opposition with increased responsibility in the September.
Is that fear, Harry, that the Jamaican people entrusted the opposition with increased responsibility? What are those responsibilities that the Jamaican people entrusted him with?
The responsibilities has not changed since the last time they were opposition. So you remember how Mr. Omar Davis came with the wonderful spin of negative growth? It is no different with the change of words. It is waxing lyrical about nothing. It's a lot of nothing because nothing has changed. So if he wants to spin it to say because they're going to say they got 14 more seats than they had last time. They're also going to say they gotten 100,000 more votes. When the truth of the matter is, coming out of their own camp, their own people said they refrained from voting because of the split that was happening, the confusion in the party. The Jamaica Labour Party did not gain those persons' vote for that election in 2020. So what Mr. Golding saying now, again, is misleading.
Yeah.
Because if we saw where Jamaica Labour Party in 2020 got, let's say 540,000 neighbor, and then now we saw it 400,000 apiece, we could have concluded by deduction to say, okay, that may be the case, but that is not the case here.
So there is no additional. Listen to him a little bit more.
The general election, they increased their support for us by some 100,000 votes and doubled the number of constituencies we represent in Parliament, increasing our members of Parliament to 28. It is therefore clear that many Jamaicans are seeking a different style of leadership.
He deduced from that, Harry, that this is Jamaica asking for a different style of leadership. Do you read the opposition's so-called success to be Jamaica asking for a different style of leadership? And is Mark Golding's style of leadership what Jamaicans are asking for?
But if Jamaica was asking for a different style of leadership, they would have voted the opposition, current opposition, to be the administration. That's not so. If you want to see a different style of leadership, we could have looked at 2016 when Mr. Holness won.
Yes.
That is what you call a different style of leadership. That is what you call the Jamaican people entrusting the then opposition to be the leader because of a different style that they want to give power and that they trust to lead them in the right path. But not you having
every opportunity that Mr. Golding gets, he speaks of the improved position. Listen to him here.
There are far too many people still.
Hold on.
Since last week, Saturday before last, 10 days ago, I have not heard from him in response to any of my messages. So when the Minister of Information says
that's up to,
I had called for something of that nature.
I don't have that. But every opportunity he gets, he speaks of the 28 seats and the amount of people who vote for him. It's becoming a regular pattern. And he brings it to his New Year's message, Harry. What is Golding communicating to Jamaica here? It's like he wants to share power.
But the truth is, when you are not at a certain level, when you have a lack within, you tend to stress and highlight the one thing that you may see as a positive. Remember, neighbor, and it's a strategy, and it's one in which is we've seen right across the world, not just in politics itself, but leadership overall. When you know you don't have much substance remaining, you have to play the cards that you see looking fit. And in this case, they think, moving from 14 to 28 seats, they think it's a massive achievement. The truth is, we have a first past the post system, not a proportional, as is Guyana. The first past the post simply says, whoever gets more than half, and that is 50 plus 1, 50% or 50.1%, right, is the administration or will form the administration. So it doesn't matter if you want to get 1 million votes, I got the most seats. And that is the system we have. So what Mr. Golding is trying to do is to say, let's cover up our shortcomings and the fact that we failed miserably after putting so much work in the last election, putting so much resources behind it to come up and challenge. They don't want to accept that they failed. I don't know no prize for no opposition. I don't know no prize for participation. And that is what he's trying to get to. The Jamaican people saw you best fit as an opposition, not as a leader. That's not a trophy. That's not real power. No, we can't say you don't have a seat at the table, because you do to help, because you are part of governance. But you were not entrusted with the ultimate power.
Check your phone.
Last week, Saturday before last, 10 days ago, I have not heard from him any of my messages. So when piece of information says
hello, Harry.
I've been communicating
constantly. I'm hearing you.
No, I'm not hearing you at all. At a press conference, I'm trying to get the listeners to understand that every time Golding speaks, he speaks of this 28 seat.
That is simply untrue. There has been
Hear me, neighbor?
Hold on.
Any communication, and certainly coming in my direction from the Prime Minister. I note that there's a decision that has been taken to
enact legislation to establish a new reconstruction agency, the acronym NARA, National Reconstruction and Resilience Authority, I believe, which will have wide powers to ensure that decisions can be taken very quickly when it comes to rebuilding, for example. I know that this is something that the private sector have been agitating for, and I see the need for it. But where you are circumventing normal procedures because the circumstances that we're in require that, it is all the more important that the thing be done in a transparent manner and that all critical stakeholders should be at the table when those decisions are being taken or being reviewed. The Prime Minister, in making that announcement, spoke of a broad-based.
So just listen the consistent mention of the opposition and the 28 seats and all of that. It's something to note.
Governance structure for this new authority. I had called for something of that nature right after the hurricane. I wrote to him about it. However, I noticed that he, at his press conference when he announced it, he made no mention of the opposition being at the table. I don't know whether that omission was inadvertent or deliberate, but I can tell you that if we want Jamaica to get back on her feet,
if you want Jamaica to get back on her feet
as quickly as possible, if you want to avoid social dislocation,
if you want to avoid social dislocation, and
if we want people to feel that the response is equitable, is well designed, and is without political bias, it is important that critical stakeholders be at the table. And the opposition, with 28 seats in the parliament and almost the same number of votes in the last election as the government, should be part of that process. We are willing to serve, but we are currently being excluded. All of the committees.
There you go again, Harry. Most of the time that Mr. Golden speaks, he speaks about the amount of seats he have and the amount of votes that he got. Why would he need to be constantly referencing that, even in his New Year's message to Jamaica, saying that the opposition got lots of votes and have 20 seats? It's in every one of his speech. I don't understand why.
Neighbor, Mr. Golding knows they don't have the strength that they put to the forefront. It's a facade. And as such, to try and place, quote unquote, an emphasis on strength, they think having 28 seats and 400,000 votes is enough. Now, let me bring him to the reality of his members that spoke. Mr. Crawford stated as well that this, and Mr. Golding, this is a minority government. I don't know if you remember when they were running with that. So, on that preface, right? If the government is a minority government, what does that say about the opposition? It means you are a minority opposition as well. So why are you trying to show that you have power if you're a minority? And those are their words, maybe not verbatim, but it is right down the middle for what is the statement that they're putting out. So you can't want to say and put yourself up as this strong opposition when you are not. And they come again, neighbor, to say they gain the seats. You and I both know, and the listeners know, nobody goes into an election with any seat put down. None. So you can't gain something that you never, as if it was there already. Right? We know what happened in 2020.
Yeah. So he
Go
has
ahead, neighbor.
He has interpreted the electoral to mean that Jamaica is asking for a new style of leadership. But what I'm asking you, what is the style of leadership that is being offered by Mr. Gold?
But we don't know. We don't know what the leadership style is. We're still waiting to know this refit and revamped, rebuilt opposition since 2020, what it is. Like, what are the now pillars? And philosophy and ideology of this now retrofitted People's National Party, because they don't want to say they are still part of the Manley era nor the PJ Patterson era. So what era are they of? What separates them in the now to lead the country for the future? What is it for these pillars? Because every leadership, every group has to be built on pillars. That's what holds them down to ensure they deliver, right? What are these tenets? And we're yet to know. Because if we're not mistaken, we could simply look at it to say they're still spiraling. They themselves aren't sure. Because we've seen, put it this way, neighbor, if you have an organization, the arms of that organization should complement each other. They should be interdependent. Right? And the arms that I'm alluding to so the people can understand are, as Mr. Golding put, 28 seats or 28 members of parliament. But we're seeing technically 28 different directions. We see Mr. Crawford doing one thing. No, neighbor, they don't. The only umbrella group and idea that they fall under is that they're of the People's National Party, right? And it's giving the feeling. I don't know if you remember when Mr. I think it was Carlton Blythe, but what was it again? When the People's National Party had 3 colors: orange, red, and yellow. Right? It's giving the same vibe as that. Yes. It's just that they don't use the colors now.
Is Mr. Golding misrepresenting what the elections were about? Because he is interpreting it to mean that Jamaica is asking for a new style of leadership. Is that a misrepresentation of what the election results were all about?
Definitely, neighbor. In fact, I don't want to say it's a misrepresentation. I think that people say it is their truth. I think that is Mr. Golding's truth. I think that is his perspective and not even the party's perspective. Because at this juncture, right, I don't even think he speaks for every member in that party, right? I'd say, as Mr. Perry put it, I'd want to say Mr. Golding might be an independent thinker of the People's National Party, because clearly that's what is happening. Everybody is doing their own thing. There's no unison, no cohesion in going forward. The only time we've seen that unity is in front of a camera when everybody stood behind the camera. But if you look at them, everybody was pretty much doing something different. So you don't have that unification to go forward. I didn't see from 2020 to now a metamorphosis, a growth and change in this People's National Party. I just saw them putting things together quick enough to not look just as bad, saving face for a better understanding. They have not recovered, and until they accept that they are not the party of the past, they don't have the structural power that they once did. They're losing ground, and no amount of money and misinformation and conferences.
They are losing ground, Harry. The leader of the opposition is suggesting that more than almost 100,000 more people voted for them. Why would you say they are losing ground?
Neighbor, remember, I would have looked at the numbers coming up, right? The PNP has a cohort, and that cohort has not increased. If we look at the Jamaica Labour Party coming up, they've increased from 300,000 coming right up, because I've looked at when both was a little bit over 150,000 coming right up. And we see where the People's National Party base, as we want to put it, all over the place. It comes up sometime, it goes back down, while the Jamaica Labour Party consistently increases. Since it has gone over 400,000 neighbor, it has never gone below.
That's
the
Labour
opposition, however, that's in Labour Party's source. And then those undecided voters are now thinkers that are getting information. They are also seeing right through the facade and the smoke and mirrors being put up in the political arena, regardless of what party we want to look
Let's
at it
celebrate.
as.
For the first
And
time,
as such, the more blunders the People's National Party and Mr. Golding,
Sorry about that.
right, the more blunders and mistakes Mr. Golding and the People's National Party makes, social media cannot save them. It is highlighting their inconsistencies, their inefficiencies, and the fact that they just might become a dinosaur if they don't transform. They might be stuck in opposition for another term if they are not careful. And that there's no, based on their trajectory, they're heading down that same path because they have no unison, they have no plan. They aren't putting their best foot forward to the Jamaican people. They have not asked the Jamaican people what they want. They're putting something out there and saying, this is what we're giving you. And what they're giving Jamaican people, neighbor, has been rejected 3 times.
Wow. Hold on there for me, Harry. Coming back, we're going to Westmoreland when we come back. We saw George Wright put out something today. We're going to look at that. Coming back. George Wright, the former member of parliament for Central Westmoreland, is beginning to speak up. Listen to him.
Sir Dwayne Vaz, member of parliament for Westmoreland Central, come up front. Today is the first day of the year, 2026 January. We have some issues. And
by the way, this is George Wright. Mr. George Wright is Mr. George Wright is now going to be having something to say. Listen to him.
Notice when I was at the crease as member of parliament, you were the same one going out to identify all the bad roads in the constituency.
So when George Wright was member of parliament, Mr. Dwayne Vaz was going out identifying all the bad roads in the constituency. Go to George Wright. I tell you, this is fantastic. Listen to him.
Now it is my turn.
It is now George Wright. I tell you, I'm coming back to George Wright. My turn. It seems like George Wright is going to be challenging again, you know. By the way, I need to talk to KC. I want to look at these members of parliament that have lost. I want to look at their prospect for running again, KC. All right. So I give you a little assignment here. Let's talk about that on Monday or Tuesday. We're going to Petersfield, and then we go to George Wright, and then Petersfield. Stay tuned. Harry is with me, and if you are listening and you want to join, you can send a request. We'll moderator, can you just silence that for me, please? Silence that. Silence that for me, please, moderator. Thank you so much. Go ahead, George.
You would have gotten millions of dollars in the holiday period to do road patching and road rehabilitation.
So Mr. Vaz, Mr. Wright said, got millions to do road patching and road rehabilitation. Yes?
We haven't seen none of that.
He hasn't seen any. So what has Mr. Vaz done with the money? Hey, Mr. Vaz, what have you done with the money? Mr. George Wright is saying that. No, sir, boy, what is happening? Mr. Wright, are you sure, sir? Go ahead.
taking place in Westmoreland Central. I want to know, and the people of Westmoreland Central wants to know, what are you going to do and where is the money that you got to do road work?
Harry, this is interesting, Harry. Where is the money that Mr. Vaz got to do the work?
Mr. Vaz, I doubt even him himself knows where the money is.
No, sir. This is serious business. I tell you. Anyway, let's finish listening to Mr. Wright.
The road from Stratbogie to Tarrington is in a deplorable condition. I traveled yesterday and I would have seen a line of traffic from Stratbogie straight to Amity. No, I want answers, and the people of Westmoreland Central need answers as well. So let us know, where is the money that you got to do road rehabilitation and road patching? And let us know when you will be working, especially on the road from Stratbogie to Tarrington. Mr. Dwayne Vaz.
Well, Mr. Vaz there have some questions to answer. Boy, I tell you something. That's right, Mr. Wright. Mr. Wright wants to know, where is the money that you got in Central Westmoreland to do? Is there any? Do I have anyone online from Central Westmoreland? Do I have anyone online from Central? By the way, Mr. Wright, I'd love to talk to you, Mr. Wright. Please, if anyone listening to Mr. Wright could reach out to him and tell him that we would love to have a conversation with him about these allegations that he's making against the Member of Parliament for Central Westmoreland, Mr. Dwayne Vaz. Now I understand that Mr. Vaz is a man that likes the bar, So I wonder what's happening there. Anyway, Harry, any comment on that?
I think what Mr. Wright is doing is utilizing his position that the people of Central Westmoreland have entrusted him with as the caretaker candidate, right? Because he's being a very good watchdog, right?
Yes.
And that is something I've not seen from the actual opposition, right? So Mr. Wright now, despite his party is in power, he's an opposition candidate, and he's showing that this is what you need to do. You need to point out the areas that are of interest. You need to also hold the opposite number accountable. So the people, because what he's doing is asking on behalf of the people, I don't want people to get it twisted. Right. Yeah. Because
very impressive. I am impressed with Mr. Wright here. Ask questions, man.
Yeah. No, exactly. Right. And as such, then you need, because remember, Mr. Vaz is very vocal, but he's very silent on these matters. And as a representative, because you're in representation of politics, the critical matters you never ever get the opportunity to remain silent on, because you signed up for this. So you have to now step up and act in the position. Yes. And you can't run away from it, because that's not the era we're in, where you can run away and get away with it now. Because now people can call you out on many different forums and many different platforms. And at some point in time, you have to bite.
That's right. That's right. So Mr. Vaz Mr. Wright is asking some questions about Central Westmoreland. Let's move over to Petersfield, Harry. Yesterday, the TVJ reported that the people at Petersfield, the people staying at the Petersfield High School, were to have been removed. Now, there are 2 tapes of Minister Mackenzie that are out there. Mr. Andre Stevens has accused the minister of being disingenuous. I think he used stronger words than that. It came out earlier today, Harry, that the residents staying in the school broke into the classroom. Did you hear that?
I didn't hear of that part, but I did hear of Minister Mackenzie speaking in terms of where these people would be located and on the matter of it. But that is something, neighbor, in terms of the territory that we wouldn't want these people to venture into, because now that becomes technically a criminal offense.
Yes.
And that is also the destruction of government property.
Yes.
That is not something we want to do. No, we're not in.
Listen to.
We're not in.
Hold on. Listen to Andre.
And say him going to the people.
There is a profanity.
Go ahead, neighbor.
Please. I beg your pardon, listeners.
Because I think he's suffering from dementia, Alzheimer's. Because he's not having recollection like the white Nelson, who says, I can't recall. So I am going to remind him tonight about what he said, because it is the duty of us, the bloggers, to fact check him, because mainstream media not doing it. Ishmael, clear back.
Hold on. Mr. Andre Stevens is admitting that mainstream media don't fact check Harry.
They don't. And we've seen that, neighbor.
But
we've seen it.
Why would bloggers be the ones fact checking news stories in Jamaica? This is what we come to.
Neighbor, I think in terms of, because they call themselves bloggers, hats off to them. But we're more concerned citizens who want answers to what is happening with our representation, with our resources that we contribute heavily to every year. And as such, I think our questions need answers. But when it goes on to the matter of Mr. Stevens being a blogger trying to fact check, I've only seen him attempting to fact check just the administration. I didn't see him attempt to fact check the opposition at all. In fact, he himself got fact checked when he went down to Westmoreland to deliver some care packages, and purpose being that Westmoreland is predominantly for the opposition, he was dealt with some harm. And he called out Mr. Vaz, who failed to protect him. So I'm now wondering how he feels so strongly on the matter, when the truth is, you can't call out one with a measuring stick and not the other. So it simply means he himself needs to recall the process of fact-checking, unless he's being blindsided by his very own bias. And he needs to also understand that, because there's so many things I think he can look into. But I'd want to hear a little bit more in terms of how far he went with his statements.
Because I think he's suffering from dementia, Alzheimer's. Because he's not having recollection like the white Nelson, who says, I can't recall. So I am going to remind him tonight about what he said, because it is the duty of us, the bloggers, to fact check him, because mainstream media not doing it. Ishmael, play back the video. Play back the video.
And if they want to be difficult, I can be difficult too. And I'm going to
play it back. That one. Play it back, Ishmael. Play it back.
And if they want to be difficult, I can be difficult too. And I'm going to be difficult. And all because the fact that they are now required to leave the school, government is making provisions for them.
All right. No, I want you to note that the minister said This is what Stevens is fact checking. That the people are required to leave the school, but that the government is making provisions for them. Don't miss that. Let's roll it up a little, back it up a little.
And all because the fact that they are now required to leave the school, government is making provisions for them. Some are willing to go, some don't want to go. And I'm going to say this now. We are not going to compromise any of the 4 positions that was made to them on Wednesday.
The residents have been given until the end of this month to vacate the school.
Jamaica, I want to ask you tonight, where was the lie that was told on this government? Where?
All right. Okay. So, the lie that was told, Mr. Stevens, is that the government is putting the people out without providing them with alternative accommodation. That is the lie. Okay? It is a fact that the government intends to reopen the school on Monday, which it ought to. And as a result of the government intending to open the school on Monday, you have to come out of the school so that the picnic them can get them school to go Monday. But the government is not putting the people out on the street. The government is making provision for somewhere else to put the people. That is the lie. The lie is that the impression is being given that somehow the government is telling the people them to leave the school and them not have nowhere to go. I'm coming back. So that's the fact check. The JDF recovers a body of a child who drowned in Hellshire.
Was the lie that was told on this government? What are you suffering from this? Is it dementia, Alzheimer's, or you're just blatantly damn?
At my feet, we go blowing down.
Because it is the duty of us, the bloggers, to fact check him. Because mainstream media not. It's still play back the video. Play back the video.
And if they want to be difficult, I can be difficult too. And I'm going to
play back that one. Play back Ishmael. Play back.
Harry.
Yes, neighbor.
The fact of the matter, Harry, is that it would be appropriate, Harry, for the government to take steps to reopen the school on Monday, correct?
Has the neighbor. It is priority.
Yes. And therefore, nothing wrong if the government says to the people, you have to relocate to somewhere else because we have to get the school open. What's wrong with that?
Neighbor, like I said, I think people refuse to understand that, one, these where they are and the purpose, the primary purpose that they serve when not being a shelter, still has to be reinstated. And as such, alternative measures has, and in cases like this now, will be put in place. Because life still goes on, neighbor. We're still trying to strike a level of normalcy. We need to also understand that there is a percentage of students that attends the school that has exams coming up.
Yes.
And that building serves as their main area to obtain this level of education and access to information that they will very much need to go and exercise.
Yes.
In June or July, whenever the exams are. And as such, the sooner we get that level of normalcy or somewhat off for these students to get back into the learning environment, something that is similar, because we have to also understand, neighbor, what they went through has a mental play, and coming back to school is something that can remind them of a level of normalcy that they had before. And this also gives them a chance to continue their education and also ensure that they can be functional in society irregardless of what will have happened to their physical environment. We cannot stop and set these students back than where they should be. We're giving them a fair chance. The sooner we get these schools opening, of course, I know additional resources will be pumped into these areas and for these students to ensure that they are equipped enough beyond competency to go and sit those exams. So it doesn't matter how the administration decides to say that the persons are looking to leave. The fact remains that they're not just putting them out on the street side. They're saying, listen, you have to leave, but we're going to provide allocations, we're going to provide locations as we're going to provide alternative solutions for you to reside in, which is also temporary. And Mr. Stevens and persons who would think along the same line that he does, they have to also remember these shelters were never permanent. It's all a temporary thing. So at some point in time, we're going to come to say, listen, it is evacuation time. And it's not like it's a whole lot of people. It's not like 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. It's a very few people.
50,
and I'm not downplaying the 50 people. And I'm downplaying their importance because everybody is functional in society and serves a purpose and should be treated with dignity.
Yeah.
Right? But put on an entire school for just 50 persons who we know the administration will put up in Jamaican terms, right? So it's not like they're just being dumped out or thrown out to the elements of nature. They're actually going to get an alternative solution.
We're bang on 9 o'clock. All right, coming back. 1 minute after 9 o'clock, and wow.
And there was in that line, yeah, we all need a friend we can fly to. And I'm out on that line. I'm on so long now, you know I need a line.
So Damian Crawford is going to be suing the government. Wow, coming back to that. Damian Crawford threatens court action over early childhood education. Crawford going to court? I wonder what. I just call the name so shining on 12 o'clock. So Harry, did you see the story in the Gleaner that Crawford is saying that he may go to court over early childhood education?
I heard he mentioned he's been speaking heavily on the topic, but I've never heard of him going to court, that part. Okay. But I wonder if Mr. Crawford is going to sing.
Let me see if I can.
Go ahead, neighbor.
Opposition spokesman on education, Damian Crawford, says he is prepared to take the government to court to defend what he describes as the constitutional right to early childhood education. Citing Section 13K of the Jamaican Constitution, which declares that education is a right of the nation's children. Crawford noted that while serving as opposition senator in 2024, he had signaled his intention to seek a constitutional ruling on the government's contribution to early childhood education. He has now vowed to revisit that option if the administration continues to neglect the sector, particularly basic schools. Speaking to the Gleaner, Crawford argued that early childhood education has not been treated as priority, especially in the aftermath of Hurricane Melissa. What is more, he said, no meaningful focus has been placed on basic school damage in the hurricane, stressing that the government has a duty to provide early childhood education. Who doesn't consider early childhood education as a priority is a failed and flawed government. So, what do you make of this?
But for me, he needs to come with substantial evidence to show that it has been unconstitutional of the government regarding how they would have gone about the distribution of resources and the prioritization of early childhood education or lack thereof, right? And this is something I don't think he will win, because unless he have evidence that cannot be revoked, irrefutable evidence that will say, yes, the negligence of the administration has contributed to some level of defect regarding early childhood education, I don't see him coming out a victor. And this just might be another media grabbing attention aspect. But I'm very curious to know how he'll go about it. And I should follow this one very closely because, you know, I like to look at things that Mr. Crawford does to have a bit of understanding and to find out what is the narrative behind it, because he always has some very good agendas, you know, neighbor. So I'd love to know. But Mr. Crawford, before you do take the administration to court, please bring the draft that we needed to see for after Melissa. So you have an obligation to do that first, sir.
Yes. Okay, I've never heard of anything like this, though, where an opposition is threatening court action over basic school education. Or, by the way, who's going to take into court for failing to was it any better under their administration?
Well, I think that's something we could look into. That could be I think as we go into further down, like mid-January, to give it some thought. And I'd love to invite Mr. Crawford to come and enlighten us, educate us, Mr. Crawford, because it is a rather interesting built up, and it's something us the people have grave interest now in. So I'd love to have an understanding why you're taking that stance, what you saw. Let us see through your eyes, because if the administration has failed, then we would like to be in the line to hold them accountable, just as you have.
Fantastic. Let's come right back, and we're going to go to FID.
Oh, neighbor, before we move on to the FID, this is where Minister Desmond would have said, correcting Mr. Vaz. Mr. Vaz said there was 86 individuals at the Petersfield shelter, including 46 children, right? And Mr. Mackenzie would have also said they found an alternative location on the grounds of the school. So remember I was mentioning that a few minutes ago?
Yes.
The grounds of the school, this one is actually behind the school, where they are now doing some temporary work to allow those persons in the shelter to go into that location, right? And it is not new, neighbor. This is the part. Already, there are persons who have been using it. And we are going to be doing some work to ensure that the 50 persons, and it is only 50 persons, present at Petersfield be housed in this area. And this is also in working with Food for the Poor. So if Mr. Stevens wants the clarity and thought he had Mr. Mackenzie in a bind, this is what you call fact checking, sir. This is where the truth is. And these are the facts.
There you go. Before we jump over to the FID callers, if you there's an opening for you now to engage on any of those stories that we have covered so far. After 9, everything is fine, going through until 10 o'clock. Tracy, good night to you. Hi. Hello. Hello, Tracy. Hi. How are you doing? Hi. Tracy. Tracy. Oh, she's here? No. In the lines for your calls just before we go on to the FID, you know? Hi, Kimmy. Hi. Oh, Kimmy, you're here with me. Great. Nice. Incidentally, Harry?
Still here, neighbor.
I see the Prime Minister saying that the post-Melissa recovery is developed country standards. Is the PM suggesting, Harry, that Jamaica is challenging first world standards in terms of how we have responded to the recovery? What's your?
I don't even want to say he's challenging it, neighbor. I think he's sounding the alarm that we can do it just as good, if not better than you. We are no longer seen as the small fish in a big pond.
Yes.
We have the intellect. We have the human resources to do it. And as such, we have now collated and created a cohesion that we can put forward now these state-of-the-art systems that matches global standards. Right? So we aren't no longer looked at what people call third world and you expect it to be, just enough. We're no longer acting in survival mode with how we govern, with the systems we put in place. We're now looking at the major systems in the world. We're now looking where the world is going and we're matching that. That's what he's sounding to the rest of the world. And in fact, the world has reciprocated it to say the administration is forward thinking.
Yeah. And Harry, to be frank, it isn't hasn't coolness demonstrated the type of management and leadership that not very many prime ministers in the world could match up to under the circumstance. Would you agree with that?
Of course, neighbor. He has, right? I mean, of course, in terms of one of the things that people will not credit him for is his recruitment of intellect. His recruitment of human resources is key to this success.
Yes.
And in complementing the recruitment, the delegation of resources and tasks and responsibilities has been just as good.
Yes.
Because people were saying he couldn't leave the country and he needed to stay for run the country. But the country was fine. In a disaster, it was fine. He can trust, he have put together a team that he doesn't have to be standing over for it to not just be functional, but for it to exceed the task put in front of them. They are beyond competent. They are some of the finest minds. And what we need to understand is that these minds take information from global areas. So much so that these same people that he would have recruited have gone elsewhere, are now sitting on, as Jamaicans say, big boards. We have now several people in UN positions. And I'm not even speaking of Mr. Clark, who is at the IMF. We're seeing active members of government having a seat in different areas and committees of the UN. So it shows that not only are they competent in doing the job of the local aspect in terms of country, they can also kick it with the big boys on the biggest stages. In fact,
the Prime Minister,
they aren't just getting...
Go ahead, Harry.
Yeah, they aren't just getting a glimpse or a seat at the table. They're now commanding leadership areas at this table. And they've made me proud to say, yes, Jamaica are sitting on these boards, neighbor. That's something I have never grown up to see. And I've been around the block when it comes down to governance and the political arena.
So Harry, it is amazing, that the major successes of this government of Jamaica have been by Labour Party administration. When you think about the combo, Harry, of the economy and crime, and to have solved or to be well on the way to solve our crime monster and the economy, Harry, there is no greater achievement that you can expect from a government than the security of its people and creating opportunities for those people, Harry. This is fantastic.
It is, neighbor. It is, right? And the thing with it is that I want people to understand that the continuity of this is just as important, because I would have grown up, I would have also heard of the change of policies whenever there's a change of leadership of party in government. They used to just come and uproot whatever policies or plan that was there. They used to come and just stop it, whatever programs. Whether or not it was good, they would have just stopped it. That's something I grew up hearing, seeing, and then I lived it, right? But when you look now to see that people are putting the confidence in the work and they see that this is setting a foundation and we need to continue on this foundation to then be able to propel going forward, right? Because even in the eyes and eyes of this disaster, neighbor, we're still holding very strong.
Yeah.
Right? In fact, the foundation has held firmly. And as such, as we move past the recovery within another year or two, we'll then be able to now start slowly push back for growth. And that's something we've not seen with less impact on other administrations.
There are some people that are arguing in the society right now, Harry, that the Choose Jamaica concept ought to be built on and should continue. There are others who are arguing that it is important that Jamaica continues on this same path so that we can really build on the successes and leave a legacy for our children going on. But Harry, it means that the Labour Party would have to remain in power for a fourth and fifth term. And then Harry, the argument here is that the democracy probably would not be healthy with this long service government. What is your view on it? Do you think that the people of Jamaica should continue to invest in this government? Or do you think that we should be pressing for a reformed opposition that could take the baton and carry on? Do you have that confidence that they could build on this?
Well, definitely, but it's something, again, I'm big on continuity when something is solid, neighbor, right? That's not something I shun away from. Hence why the third term was so critical in terms of policy-wise for me, on a personal basis.
The third term was critical. Okay, pull up. You said the third term was critical. No, I hear people talking about a fourth term. Is the fourth term just as critical or what?
I think the fourth term, no, neighbor, from my eyes, is one that will test the building out of the foundation. So the third term ensured we secured the foundation, right? With what happened with Melissa and how much of our GDP we lost and the debt that we will have, the continuity of these policies and improvement of these policies to be executed. Because remember, neighbor, there are some things set in place that needs to benefit the people. For example, the farmers, that pension plan thing,
yes,
they need to experience that. We're speaking of $1 billion pension program, right? They need to experience that, neighbor. The building out of processing and other plans needs to also benefit the people. And if there's not a fourth term for these policies and the execution of, because my biggest thing is not
Harry, but if you get a fourth term, there are going to be people who say that the fifth term is going to be very important as well. Because part of what you need to understand, I mean, Jamaica's development has been very slow, Harry, very, very slow.
It has been thwarted heavily, neighbor.
Yes, and when you think about the time we have wasted, we really playing catch up. No, so you talk about the fourth term, but then people are going to say a fifth term, and then if you get a fifth term, people are going to be saying, well, the sixth term is necessary. May as well we just
no, neighbor. I'm strong. I know a lot of persons looking at it based on the trajectory of both the administration and the opposition. I like to keep the needle, especially for the political arena, very close. So I also don't want to do away with the opposition. We have a democracy and we need a strong opposition. You've heard me preach on this a lot of times, hence why I beat the opposition for failing to do the bare minimum, right? And I guess they will say the time will come, because nothing lasts forever, neighbor. But I'm just hoping that we get to experience or get the fruits of the seeds that we've sown, right? Because we still have a $2.2 trillion debt. I'd love to see that go down. I've not heard or seen a strong plan from the opposition.
I would say that we need to broaden the GDP. That's what we need.
No, we will. We will broaden the GDP, neighbor, right?
And
but
we
in
do
terms
that,
of
the debt is of no significance, Harry.
It definitely, neighbor, right?
But
of course we can do it.
Yeah. If, for example, we were able to get our debt to GDP down to 40%, Japan, Harry, in 30 years, the Japan central bank raised their policy rate by, I think, 0.5%. If you look at Japan's debt, man, even the United States, and you know this, it's not so much about debt. Yeah. It's about the capacity of the country to pay its debt. The truth.
It is, neighbor, and the thing with it, why I point to the debt, I know persons listening in who don't share the same views will look at it to say, well, the 6.7 billion package and so on will increase some form of debt to Jamaica.
The debt to GDP versus the debt. those are two separate things. Would you just
Two separate
because I hear
things.
people saying that the government is misleading people in speaking about the reduction of the debt. Is there not a difference between the actual debt and the debt to GDP?
It is, neighbor. It is, right? Because what happens with it now, the debt to GDP ratio really compares the country's government debt to its annual economic output. So if we're able to produce more and spend less on imports, we're increasing our debt to GDP, right? So our ability to repay the debt has significantly increased. In fact, we're in a stronger position.
Productivity,
our dollar value is better.
Output, export, those are the things we must work on.
Right. Because of course, from the piece I would have presented on just for the first 5 years of the 90s, you'd have seen where a lot of money is in the country, but there's no link of that money to productivity and production. The difference now is that there's a direct link. No. So the money is there and the money is providing jobs, it's providing opportunities. It is now helping production.
But we still remain very fragile, especially in terms of the onset of the hurricane. The economy now is fragile. In other words, mistakes could throw us off track. And that is why I think the debate in the country now is saying that the fourth term for the government is going to be so important, because it's important that Jamaica continues to build on its successes it has had. But I'm saying to you, Harry, that fourth term, 5 term, 6 term, when do you stop? When is Jamaica going to be in a position where you can say, well, and it's almost as if people are saying the PNP is so reckless that you can't afford to give them back the country. Is that a fair point?
They've been inefficient and ineffective. They've fallen from the mark that is
Not
there.
reckless.
And as such, I wouldn't want to call them reckless, neighbor, because to be truthful with them, they haven't gotten the chance in 15 years or so to be reckless, right? So I don't want to savor that for them. But the truth is, they have not.
When they were at the wicket, in that 18.5 years, how do you allow the economy to collapse to the point where you put 40,000 businesses out of the country?
For that era, neighbor, they weren't just reckless. They were the weapon that formed against development in Jamaica. that is the detriment of what they did. Right, and as such,
wouldn't you say that this has what has inhibited Jamaica's modern progress? That period held us back. It is almost as if we are still paying for that.
We are still paying for it, neighbor. We are, right? Because when you look at it. Remember, in that time of the world went through a growth spurt at radical numbers, neighbor. So I'm not just limiting it just to our sister countries and neighbors. Globally, the world was revolutionized. The biggest movement in technology, we had bauxite as well, which contributed to the technological development. I don't think people understand that. Because that turned into aluminum and so on, right?
Not to mention the employees, sir.
Right. And instead of building on what we had, which was very precious, the world needed what we had. And we needed the world. But instead of doing that, we borrowed from private people. We didn't get value for money. Very few things we did, we got value for money. We had misappropriation of funds. We had poor policies. We had the outright, pretty much I'd want to say, neglecting of the people, because that was what happened in that era. And people will come and say, neighbor, oh, but this was built, that was built. Nonsense. any government within that time had to build something.
Yeah.
So just
Would I
by
be
the passing
correct?
of time, that would have happened.
Yeah, would I be correct, Harry, that it is not so much that people are wanting the Labour Party to continue indefinitely. It is that the alternative is just not attractive.
The alternative is not there, neighbor.
Yeah, that is the problem.
Yeah, that is a major problem, right? And this is one of the reasons why I'm so vocal on we need a strong opposition. We need a sensible and an effective opposition, not one who is going to try to derail the government by misinformation and under false pretenses. One that puts the people first, understands, and this is People's National Party, take the nuggets. I want you to go back to the grassroots, not just of your people, of Jamaicans, of what made Jamaicans lick about Talawa. Go back to that period. Understood what make us a resilient set of people. Look for the needs and desires of the people. Then you do your research on where the world is going. After which, you analyze the government's policies and plans and find the inefficiencies or things that can be better, and you put it forward for the people. That's what you need to do in order to be a better opposition. And who knows, show yourself as a credible alternative for the people.
Okay, so
that's what is needed, neighbor.
In terms of the identifying of the problem, is that the people of Jamaica really don't have a choice, a clear choice right now, over on the other side.
Definitely, neighbor. Right? Because and they're not helping themselves, because you're looking at the I believe, neighbor, and I want to use a Usain Bolt race. It is a reason why the times in a Usain Bolt race is faster than any other race. Because in order to compete, just by you running down Usain, you do PB, you do your personal best, and without realizing, because you're locked on seeing someone who is bigger, better, and the standard that you're running down. So you forget your limitations and go after it. Hence why the times are so good. And these times, down to the person who come last, can probably win a race on another day with that time. And I say that and use that as an example for the opposition, neighbor. If you see who you're competing with has improved, why have you prevented yourself from improving to catch and be better? Why?
You are saying that they should be inspired by the Labour Party?
Yeah. Neighbor, if I'm the leader of a opposition or of a party or a group, right? And because it's a competition for power, and I see the world praising Hello Neighbor, and I'm in direct competition with Hello Neighbor, I'm going to see why the world appraise you, and if I can find something that you and find how I don't have to reinvent the wheel in a neighbor. I just need to improve on what you do.
Right. Let me take a break. 28 to 8 to 10 o'clock. We see Twinkle Twinkle in the box. Coming to you, Twinkle. You want to talk to us? Wow. All kinds of everything reminds me of you. Piece of third world taken up until 10 o'clock. Third world to the world, twinkle, twinkle, eye.
Now I told you, so you ought to know.
And you can know. And you can know that, eh?
Take some time for a feeling to grow.
Why sometimes the feelings grow, huh? Can't hold it back. Take stop. My goodness, you're in the shock, eh?
Let you go. No, I can't.
Oh, oh my goodness, come again, third world. Top of the night to you, 23 to 10 o'clock. Let's go to Kimmy. Hi, Kimmy. How you doing? How you doing there, Kimmy? Great New Year.
Happy New Year to you, Mr. Neighbor. Happy New Year, everyone. I'm good. How are you? Congratulations, Jamaica. Wonderful performance on the crime rate. It's amazing, you know. It really is amazing to see that we finally have a government that literally cares and is not just asking for divine intervention, but is also putting in the work, Mr. Neighbor. And I, for one, tonight, I'm a proud Jamaican to see that over 31 years, we ended this year.
Do you remember when Jamaica qualified for the World Cup?
Yes.
Yes, and PJ gave us a holiday. You remember when we got a holiday? I think we deserve.
I think we should get one.
Yes, I think so.
Because Mr. Neighbor, this. Remember, we had Mr. Bunting standing on the stage saying, "Lord, we need divine intervention to fix the crime rate in Jamaica." Right? And I remember there are days, Mr. Neighbor, I would be afraid to come out of my house. I would be afraid to even just go to a little street stand-up party because you don't know what drive by or what will happen. No, persons are freely walking. I'm not saying that persons aren't dying.
Teachers Association of Jamaica say they have polled their members and they say they are feeling safe and they are feeling safe for their children. Great news.
Right. And I want to just say something. Darrell Valls today on Nationwide interview says that the parents are slowly registering the children for the school bus program. And that's one of the reasons why I came up here tonight, Mr. Neighbor. I just want to say to everybody, it's safer than these pro bucks. It's safer and it's cheaper. You get to save money in your pocket because of this bus system. I want to tell everyone who lives in the rural areas that these school buses are running. Please go enroll your child, get them their bus card. So you just spend $100 for your child to get a lifetime of education, for your child to not miss a day of school. Because many of us, we should remember that sometimes we can only send our children to school 3 days or 4 days out of the week and they don't go on a Friday. With this responsible government that we now have the opportunity to spend $500 a week for bus fare and our children can go to school. So I'm asking the parents to please go ahead and enroll your child in this rural school bus system. It's better, it's safer for our boys and our girls, it's safer for our parents, it's cheaper. You get to save. What if you were giving your child $1,000 just because of, but Mr. Neighbor, my son gets $500 just for bus fare. The school bus system is not in my area. Right? I wish it was in my area. So my son gets $2,000 a day. It's not in my area, so you know that.
Your son gets $2,000 a day to go to school now?
Yes, sir. A day.
Oh my God.
It was 15, Mr. Neighbor. And because the buses aren't in this area, right? So they don't go to Mountain View. And sometimes these taxi drivers, they charge these children adult fares. And that's why I take the opportunity to...
It costs you $10,000, $40,000 to send your son to school.
A month. That is correct.
$40,000.
Because Mr. Neighbor, Mr. Neighbor, my son is very bright. And I don't allow him to miss school unless he's dying, literal dying. I have to see that he's crawling, you know. 2, if you don't invest in your child as a parent, who will do it for you? You have to do it. You have to make the sacrifice. And I remember my son one day couldn't get any taxi, Mr. Neighbor, because the taxis weren't taking them and the JUTC bus wasn't coming. And he started to walk home. So I said to him, you know what, let me give you adult fare. because I don't know. These taxi drivers flip around with their fares. So I say, let me give you adult fare, and then I want you to have enough to eat at school. And then he does extra class, he does evening activities, extracurricular activities. So I have to ensure that he has spending money enough to secure him, my son. And so parents, if you're listening to me tonight, this is normally Kimmy is different and jovial, but I'm encouraging you all to please sign up, enroll your child in the rural school bus system. It works. I wish I could get it, but I can't as yet. Parents, please sign up your child, please. And for those the children that are in high school, take the buses because CXC not cheap. My son was selected for 7 subjects, Mr. Neighbor. 7 subjects this year. And those are things we have to start as parents. So I'm asking everyone tonight on the platform, if you are in the area, you see the buses, for one, encourage your children to take the bus, and 2, sign them up. It's just $100. It's literally $100. It's not costing you anything to sign them up either. That's just it. This is a government that cares for you and wants your children to have an education. Another note, Mr. Neighbor. You Petersfield people who took it upon yourself to break into this classroom, the staff room, and decide to take our laptops and everything, and yet still 2 days ago you were bawling that you're not going anywhere. So you tell me now, what is it benefiting you to steal from our students? What gain did you get from that? What opportunity did that give to you? Let me understand. Because you're saying you're not leaving as if the school is a hotel, and then you went and break into the school. Are you normal? Are you telling us that we really need another generation of unlearned people? Because I don't want to use the D word tonight, Mr. Neighbor. I'm trying to be very calm. When I saw the report today, I was so upset. I was so upset. And I said to myself, this is crazy. It's crazy. Again, Mr. Voss brought in more trucks to help with the light. We don't see these things. We choose to see what we want to see. We have selective seeing in Kingston, Jamaica. We have selective seeing, and I won't stop saying that. Because I'm seeing where our government is working, and on the other hand, we see people tearing down this same government. $50 to go to school. Y'all think about it. My son pays $200 sometimes. Think about it. There's a way out. The economy is growing. And Mr. Neighbor, I'm telling you this. I believe that when the budget reads in April, Mr. Neighbor, there will be no new taxes, and we will get that 18,500. We will get it.
That's a minimum wage.
Because we have a response. Yes. No, livable wage is what my prime minister called it.
Oh, yes. Wow.
Right? And I believe we will get it based on the good work the Honorable Prime Minister and his cabinet is doing. And again, I sat down, and I don't want us to tear down Mr. Golden, but Mr. Golden, your New Year's message made no sense. I sat and I wasted my time listening to you. I wish I could get back my listening time. I swear to God. I wanted to see if you were going to say you're willing to work with the government. You're calling for transparency. We're calling for Melissa money. That's what we're calling for. So it's a lot to think about, Mr. Neighbor. But for real though, parents, if you can, you know what to do. Sign up your child. If you don't know how to do it, ask a young person. Go to the school, ask the school. Whatever you need to do it to get your child safely home. Safely home.
We'll make it up to you. You're running out of time.
Yeah, good night, everyone. Have a good day. See you all tomorrow. I will be live. Yes. I was just busy today.
Bye-bye. Take care. JC Lodge on a Friday. Public service company added 270 trucks today. I mean, I was over in Kingston. I saw them coming off the wharf myself. 470 line workers to accelerate power restoration. The minister is saying 90% of the island now has electricity. Just another 10%. Wow. But I want to review the political year that was. So KC and Scratchy will join, and we're going to review the political year that was. Stay tuned. We're going to review the general elections and tell you the winners, the losers, and what were the major points, biggest surprises, all of that. We'll do that for you.
First, we're starting AI.
So you want to stay with us? We won't be here tomorrow. I don't. I think we probably will jump on something. Yeah, don't take my word for it. We're still popping out of the holidays, and things are a little dicey, you know.
I heard him say,
knock on heaven's door as you go tonight. Remember to say your prayers and take care of your family and your friends, and continue to be strong. Lift your head up, man. Lift your head up. Remember, I tell you that you are distinguished. Eh? You are delightfully distinguished.
And right now, I'm knocking on a heaven's door.
Knock on heaven's door. Oh, there is always an answer.
Knocking on a heaven's door.
Dropping a piece of Gregory on you on this Friday. Charmaine in the Bahamas. You like this one, eh? Love this song. Oh my girl, you love it, you love it, you love it, you love it. Strong, eh? Strong song on this, your program.
My love is over.
Antenna, you picking it up? Picking it up, Antenna? You picking it up? For all my friends out there that wants me to pull this up, come again, Gregory. The third time, in between time, my goodness, look at the time, it's 4 after 10.
When they see you, I am now. And I will want to find time. I don't know when them after you. Hope you naturally respond. And make it on them. Liquid that a man them. When they see you, I'm your man. Last night, I will sing out when they see woman. Woman, they on them. So they can't take away from them. Can't on them. Now when they see you, man, can't on them. So they man, your man, friend, can't on them. I don't know what them can't on them. Some girl understand themselves. People are like some man protect you, man. Tell them to be a girl at talk you eat from here where they must say. You better pull up on your man, no better girl take you, you're everything too long. Listen, you better pull up on your man, no better girl take you, you better hold on strong. Because I'm gonna know the man when you need a one strike. When you fall and you can't just come with your mic. Can't pick you out of your hand. Right when you're on the right, I want to fight. Right, this is a girl that you want to come on again. You need to tell me can you in the window and demo. Come on again. I know what job. You can see come and I know that I'm from to like a language. Come on, I'm going to say I'm a very preacher. Oh yes, come on, I'm language. I can't just open up what good end. Full of a fool. You don't see come and then I know fine. Nothing, what we come time. I want to learn more that time. I'm straight to the moon that come in time. If a man put it and what we all find. Over life, you know, I'm a little sunshine. Keep it, I don't want to time to come on, you know. It's like a story of my life. Everybody was showing it. Some people want to know what's so much more. Want to hear about my story. Some people want to make me know. I don't want to be the one to tell you how sad you gotta be. Never get a thing on me. I'll be the one to see. Rinsing, shutting head. No need to ball, no need to beg. Youngsters must evil lead. Oh Lord, another gun bus, mother receive another gunman dead. Family and friends want small fish and bread. Somebody said it's sick, it's because of getting around. Something now for that gun and light and the first. It's the no giant, no giant church. Oh Lord, that was on this tonight. Anything to get you back. I'm back. We want and I must have been blind of something. I found someone new. God will love me, be better than you. When the rain comes, I just realize loneliness. Open my eyes and try to love. I don't mind. Said I can't get you out of my mind. No in the world to hold me, no in the world but no in the world to love me like you do, baby. Every time I'm with someone new, loving you is someone running out, but I run back to your arms again. And no one in the world. Respect, being the one. No previous to every dance. No push up every one. No, because I'm a foot and nobody else than a man. I'm a foot and never know them. You know what I'm talking about? This is the fucking I got. No, it's a come out. It's a fucking I got. We're talking about the fucking I got. That's when you want like let's say. You know what I'm that's when you want me to go back to the one I got. Here, because I'm up in the jump. Then you can hide the kids to Babylon. Spread them getting us all these man. Put on the video, sing me right now. Go by your talk to heart. Yeah, Lord of mercy. Promises press on dedication to one farmer. Whether you live a sentence or in a Nova. That is a such a captive back rider. This time when you look at them, I'm going to Jamaica. And in a London, I'm in America. And in a Canada, I'm in China. Living outside, living out with them while. Living outside, living out with them while. They want to pass on with a level party. And they want to pass with a human party. And they want to call something with ocean party. We say, you come and say, I'm living in your party. They keep in a dance in a stamping yard. The song we did a play was two type of bar. So it's a bit of only one food to come back. And two a day, you know, right straight to a bar. From put a bit of the one see potato. The bartender was Irish potato. We say, who are they get up that Spanish pepper? We never take one in the papa go my shoulder. We say, who they made find a face with cassava. But they never live with the trying to say it. You know, you're a great, you're a dance together. They talk about the dance in a one corner. Look for bread and cake, all and burger. And a big fine and the rest of us. It's my to have a story. Many reasons to sing them. Now we got the keys to the kingdom. I remember those days when the was my home. When me and my friends was a big piece of gold. And when we found that place, and my ear never comes. And my mother hurt me in the street from those. I remember one night, and they were so cold. And they came to break and then kick up their rose. I remember when you visit them with you and me. We don't have to see it, and that is what I know. That's the thing when you come from the phone, we say, my lips, we're the thing. Thank you, Lord, for what you've done for me. Thank you, Lord, for what you're doing now. Thank you, Lord, for everything. Yeah. Thank you, Lord, for your birthday. I want to sing along, sing along.